Congratulations. You are one of our 4 Oregon Music Hall of Fame college scholarship recipients. You have $2,500 to go towards your studies. How about that?
Yeah, it's exciting. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
How were you inspired to play and dedicate yourself to the piano and music composition?
For my entire life, I've been surrounded by music. Like my grandparents, like my grandpa was in the Portland Opera, my grandma, an amazing pianist, and my dad, like he was a music major dropout, you know, but he was just always like bringing music to the house. And I really wanted to like be a part of that and be able to connect with my family in that way. But for so long, I wasn't, you know, passionate about it. I think I was kind of stuck in that classical mindset that everything had to be Bach and Beethoven, which is amazing and I love it. And I've grown in with so much appreciation for classical music, but I think I really started to find my place in music when I learned the drum kit, which my parents were not that happy with because
wow,
that means I was practicing on the kit for a long time each day, and they were just like, you can just go to the garage and yeah, and I was like, this is it, okay. And then I joined band in 5th grade and started playing the French horn because I'd been taking piano lessons, but I didn't enjoy it. So my dad was like, if you start taking drum lessons, you can quit piano. And then I joined band because I wanted to be like my sister who was in band. So that kind of started like connecting the dots for me. I was like, okay, so reading music really isn't that hard as I've been making it for the past like 3 years. It's just, you know, it just takes some practice. So then I came back to the piano and I started to learn by ear, which was really fun for me. I just like play a George Winston piece on my phone, and then I would just like learn how to transfer it over to the piano and learned how to like hear chord structures in my head. Like, is this a 4 chord or a 2 minor, and like where that fits in musically. And that's when I started to compose. And I really found that my style resonated with film scores like Hans Zimmer, Lauren Balfe, like these great film score composers. And that's why I decided I want to be a composer.
What was your best musical moment so far of your young life?
So for 6 years, I've been playing with a local symphony called the Columbia River Symphony in my hometown. And I had asked the conductor if I could put a piece that I composed in front of the orchestra. I'd composed it for a friend of mine who passed away about 1.5 years ago. So it was really close to my heart. And he said, yeah, sure, you guys can, or like, you can put it in front of them and then we can test it out, see if we like it. And so they played it and they all really enjoyed it and they wanted to perform it somewhere, you know, and they didn't know when that was going to be or how that was going to look. But they ended up deciding to do it for a Christmas concert with the local school's choirs. It's like a full house. Like it was at a place called the Liberty Theater, which is
I know the Liberty. Yeah.
So it's 100 years old, and I mean, just a century of music has just like been in that place. So it was such a special moment to like have that piece performed. Just like hearing what was in my head finally come to life. And at the end, there was a standing ovation from both the orchestra and the crowd, and there was not a dry eye in the audience. I was so touched and blessed. That was definitely my best musical moment, and I hope to experience more like that in the future.
But that took a lot of work to really push yourself, especially living out in a coastal town. You're a little bit removed from some of the other, you know?
Yeah. And it took me a long time to get into like orchestral composing because I was like, I just, I don't see the point. And then when I started playing in groups, I was like, there's so many opportunities if I could just, put my ideas down onto paper, like, and be able to grasp that.
So was it your family and or your instructors that helped you really hone your craft? I think you sort of touched on that, but do you have a teacher or someone who has really kept you committed or made you go forward?
Yeah, so like apart from my dad and my family members, my band teacher, Michael McClure, has been such a source of encouragement because he's been my band director for 9 years, and he's always just been like, you need to push yourself. You need to like put yourself out there, you know, like attend like conferences, like just be the best version, you know, of a composer, of a player. He's also a French horn player. So we sat next to each other in two, like, I think, 3 different groups. So that was super fun. And right before the schools were shut down, we were going to perform a piece I wrote for my band. And he was so encouraging on all levels. Just I'd play like a recording of it for him, and he would tell me like what he liked and what he thought I could do better. He's not a composer himself, but he's very well-rounded and well-versed in music. So he's been a huge source of support.
That's wonderful. So where are you going to be going to college or university this fall?
So I'll be attending Western Oregon University in Monmouth, because they, as far as like I've seen, they have one of the best composition programs in the Northwest that's specifically geared towards film composing. And I get to stay in Oregon, which I love. So that's a huge plus. Mm-hmm. And the instructor, Kevin Wolzik, is an amazing composer, and he's going to be my private teacher in composition. And just like when I've met with him and talked with him, I just felt like he would be able to guide me into the direction that I want to go. So, yeah.
So will you be staying in the dorms and doing online or?
So Western is able to keep a lot of things open because it's a small school. Okay. And we'll just be wearing masks and practicing social distancing. So I will be down there.
How will this scholarship help you, the Oregon Music Hall of Fame $2,500 scholarship?
So it's definitely going to help me. It's a really good size scholarship, especially for Western. It's fitting really well into my financial plan. It's going to help me worry less about paying for school and being able to focus more on music and I'm really excited about it. So
we're excited for you. Hey, look what we have for you.
That's also exciting.
You get to put this up on your university dorm room.
Yeah, absolutely.
Congratulations, Isabella. We are so very proud of you and your bright future, and can't wait to hear one of the film scores that you come up with in the future. Stay in touch.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you again. I really appreciate it.